I want to say about co-writing is you don't have to do it. It's very popular in Nashville, but there are definitely writers that don't co-write at all, like Diane Warren, you might have heard of her. Hugh Prestwood's had a lot of success in Nashville, and he just doesn't like to do it. Gretchen Peters has done some, but she wrote Independence Day by herself and tends to write most of her songs by herself. So, what's the point of co-writing? You have to split the money after all. Well, there's a lot of reasons. The first one is it can be a really nice method of discipline. I don't know about you, but I'll decide, okay, this morning I'm going to sit down and write. Oh, but I got those 2 emails I got to answer first, and oh, that laundry's in the washer, I better put it in the dryer, and oh, the phone rang, and the dog hasn't had a walk yet, and next thing you know, there went all my time for co-writing. Or let's say I do better than that, I'm actually sitting there working on this song. So I'm thinking about it, and then it reminds me of this person, and then next thing I know, I've just spent a half an hour thinking about something other than the song. I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit ADD, and quite honestly, I've never met a songwriter who didn't say that they were a little bit ADD too. Maybe it just comes with our brand of creativity. But anyway, if you come over and you're going to co-write with me, well, first of all, I'm not going to be doing my laundry and walking the dog, because there you are to have an appointment to co-write with me. And secondly, the fact that we're there both talking about the idea, it's going to keep me focused. My mind isn't so likely to wander off on other things. Another great reason for co-writing is that 2 heads can be better than 1. Some of my favorite lines in my songs, I didn't come up with, but I still get to take credit for them. Oh yeah, I wrote that song. Sometimes I give my co-writers credit for the great lines if somebody brings it up, but when I'm up there performing a song or playing it for a publisher, we don't have to pick it apart. They can just think I came up with that, or you came up with that. Another thing is you can find somebody who complements your strengths and weaknesses. For example, I can write lyrics, I can write melodies, but I'm not a great guitar player, so I can't always find really interesting chord progressions or create really cool grooves to write to. So I love to find guys that are great guitar players, maybe grew up playing in bands, and they have all those cool riffs and signature licks and grooves that I couldn't come up with on my own, and that can be very important to selling the song. I personally also like to write with people that are younger than me. We tend to gravitate to our musical references from whatever era we grow up in, and well, mine are a little dated at this point, so I like writing with younger people that have more current musical references. So you can find somebody that's good at what you're not good at, somebody that's maybe weak where you can complement their strength. Another reason to co-write is it's an instant editing process. One of the hardest things to overcome when you're writing lyrics is that you know exactly what you mean by everything you say. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the words you're writing are going to say that thing to a listener. So you throw out a line and your co-writer's going, huh? What does that mean? And you go, oh yeah, I guess I left some of it out. So there's sort of an instant editing process, and 2 people have to love it. So sometimes you just come up with something better than either of you would have settled for on your own. And then when you're done with the song, you've got 2 people pulling for it. You've got 2 people out there pitching it. You have somebody to help you share the demo costs, and another person out there just advocating for your songs. Most people find it very strange to co-write when they start out, but a lot of times once you get into the groove of it, it's really fun. I enjoy it. I have to say one of the best reasons for me when it comes to co-writing is that it's fun. I get to hang out with really creative people and get inspired by their minds, and the back and forth can just be wonderful. I might say a line that has a word in it that inspires my co-writer, and then they come back to me with a different line that has that word in it, but I say, no, let's put it over here in the song. It's just fun. It's an exchange with another human being, and I personally really like that. Now, a lot of people once they get into co-writing, they hardly ever write by themselves. So I want to encourage you not to fall into that trap. Don't let it be a crutch. Keep doing your own stuff so that you don't forget who you are as a writer, and so that you make sure that you're writing from your emotions and from your life and from what's real to you, as opposed to just always sitting down with someone and trying to develop an idea. Because when it's real, it shows. And believe it or not, that is what the industry's looking for. They look for stuff that has that ring of authenticity.